button. Yeah, you push it. Okay, we're live.
We're live.
Welcome to the Undercard Supercast for the 16th of September, 2014. I'm your host, founder, editor, and returning surge enthusiast of Undercard Superstar, Luke Irwin. Joining me tonight, he fears no opponent on the map, but he's terrified of a genteel microwave, Ben Cohn. Alongside him, he lays down stern discipline on his cats with passive-aggressive comments about their weight, Earl Montclair. Nextly, you know him as the father on Crisley Knows Best, Josh Hall.
Fuck.
I once saw him eat an entire can of beefaroni without actually opening it, Nolan Howell. And lastly, his American Apparel V-necks are so low that they double as a hammock for his balls, Taylor Engel. Dateline, the Cohn family whooping room, which is where I wanted to go after watching Floyd win yet another bout. In honor of what we shed when Bigfoot fell, who wins your golden tier of the weekend? And what poor schlub takes home the revolting, the despicable, abhorrent golden poop?
Golden tier has got to go to Andre Arlovski. I believe he's 8-1-1 since his run in Strikeforce and Affliction. He's just made an emphatic statement. He knocked out the number 4 ranked heavyweight in 2014 at age 36, and he looked fantastic. He was light on his feet. His hand speed was amazing. So he definitely gets my golden tier. Golden poop is going to actually go to his opponent, Antonio Bigfoot Silva. You're coming off a suspension for PEDs. You are ranked number 4. You've already beaten the guy who you just fought, and you were expected to do it with a knockout because of Andre's glass chin. How do you get knocked out in the first round in less than 3 minutes? That's ridiculous, and it's horrible for his stock because he's going to drop he dropped pretty far in the rankings, I think, and he definitely gets my golden boot.
Earl?
I'm going to have to give my golden tier to Bigfoot Silva for giving me a hug at the Fan Expo. Therefore, he can't do anything wrong. He can never be cut. He's an adorable man, and God bless him for all of his things. My golden poop goes to kind of to anyone supporting Thiago Silva at this point. For him to be welcomed back into the UFC is pretty despicable at this point, especially that he was never acquitted of any charges. There was never anything. The case was dropped because the lady fled the country and went back to Brazil. So for that to get all the charges dropped and he gets back in the UFC is a fucking travesty, and Dana and Zuffa should feel really awful for having him around, especially since he's a mid-tier guy who isn't reliable, fails drug tests, and, you know, does the things he did. There's no reason to support him, and there's no reason for people who train with him to be supporting him, people like Eddie Alvarez. You don't have to answer that question, dude. You can just keep your mouth shut and say, I don't have a comment on that. Don't go support him.
You said he got dealt a bad hand.
Yeah, he got dealt a bad hand.
Kyle Maynard got dealt a bad. Helen Keller got dealt a bad hand.
Thiago Silva beat him.
So to say that he got dealt a bad hand, it makes you look fucking terrible. You really didn't have to answer the question. I don't give a shit if you train with him in the same gym or whatever the case may be, or if you've known him for years. Like, that kind of stuff, just say no comment, man. Stay out of the fray. Don't go on record as a supporter of that or an empathizer of him. There's no need for it. It makes you look really terrible. And I don't really care for you and your fight career if you're going to stand up for something like that. I hope Donald Cerrone, of all people, kicks the dog shit out of you in the next fight.
Joshua?
Okay, golden tier. I'm going to give it to Hanayaya for his nice little revenge victory after the ugly end to his first fight with Johnny Bedford, and then Bedford being completely classless throughout the entire process, and then apparently threatening to kill him at weigh-ins. Watching him nearly take his arm clean off was a pretty satisfying end to all of that. Golden Poop. Paulo Thiago, it's time to retire. And retire now. Sean Spencer's not even a mid-tier UFC welterweight, and he had nothing for him.
All they're doing is marching him out. They're just like stuffing him like a marionette and then marching him out to the Brazilian fans.
I don't want to watch that anymore. I knew it was going to happen before the fight started, and it was not fun to watch, and it just needs to be done. Go back to fighting like real criminals in Brazil and doing important things.
No. Actually, I'll go here.
Okay.
The golden tier is to the patron saint of Undercard Superstar, the inspiration behind the name of Undercard Superstar, Gleison Tibau. His 15th win as a lightweight, and unfortunately, he probably will not be visiting the Undercard anytime soon after this, especially with how thin the cards are as is. So if that's his final farewell from the Undercard, then we bid him adieu. Golden Poop, Marcos Maidana, goddamn it, he thinks he's people. You're not a boxer, Maidana. The fact that he spent the better part of 10 rounds trying to outwit the best boxer in the world, and quite possibly the best pure boxer in history, was dumb. He wasn't going to win because Floyd adjusts too well, but if he had a shot, he needed to basically just do like he did last time, start throwing wrenches at him and sneaking in elbows, hitting him in the leg and shit, just going all out like he did last time. And no, he tried to outbox Floyd Mayweather, and that always goes real well for any opponents. And also, honorary Golden Poop to Monica for that horrible hatchet job of an anthem before the Mayweather fight. Holy Toledo.
Both those anthems were really, really odd and kind of off-putting.
Monica went 9.5 on the Mariah scale, which is trying to get every single enunciation on every word possible. Nolan.
Golden tier goes to Floyd Mayweather. To completely negate Marcos Maidana, showing a little more offense than you're used to in a Floyd Mayweather fight, but also using the stereotypical defensive tactics, clinching. It's why he's the best. Not much more to say about that. Golden Poop. I gotta give it to Joey Beltran because you gotta expect Emmanuel Newton spinning shit, and he didn't, and he got knocked out by it. So, just another step down. UFC washout, and now fledgling Bella heavyweight. So that's solid for him, I guess.
My golden tier goes to I don't know if anybody else actually watched Bama, but Paul Daly. Holy shit, that was one of the more entertaining 2 rounds of fighting I've seen lately. I thought, goddamn, am I ever going to annihilate this guy's name? He's going to be Connor Dillon-esque. Mourinho Moreira de Roca.
Tom Boots.
Tom Boots.
Obligatory.
And then TKO'd him with the left hook to the liver. It was a gorgeous finish to a really, really fun fight. I know that Paul Daly is basically blacklisted, but I mean, you're bringing fucking Thiago Silva back. Like, make room for the guy. There's no end to the fun fights he could be in the welterweight division.
Bro, Paul Daly almost hit Josh Koscheck. Like, it almost hurt him. It might have glanced his jaw even. That's inexcusable.
Yeah.
How about this, guys? Paul Daly versus Paulo Thiago.
Oh, for the love of
I'm
God.
interested.
No.
You're a turd.
He'll get blacklisted for killing a guy. Come on.
Yeah, so that was that definitely gets my golden tier just because not little known. Don't want to come off as a hipster, heavens no.
That hat does it for you.
Not a lot. It's a beanie.
Thinking.
Really, really terrific fight with a really fun finish. So, golden tier to Paul Daly. Hope I see you soon against somebody that knows how to do fighting. Golden poop. Boy, so little to choose from. I'm going to preface this with I really do enjoy this sport, but I'm just going to give it to the UFC and the saturation of MMA in general. When the UFC is basically monopoly and you have 99% of the top level fighters in the world in one promotion, I don't want to tune in every weekend to watch two of the good fighters and sit through 6 hours of horse shit to see it. I don't care how entertaining the fights are. I want to see the best in the world, not the 250th guy fight the 254th ranked guy. It doesn't interest me. It wastes my time. It wastes my Saturday nights. So if you could kindly have one good show a month instead of 5 shitty ones, that would be super.
Staying in Vegas, what is next for May Day 2015? After the fight, Mayweather said, quote, "Let's make the Pacquiao fight," end quote. Who do you want to see, and who do you think it goes to for Floyd's annual fight in May on Cinco de Mayo weekend of 2015? Benjamin.
I actually want to see it go with Amir. I want to see them go with Amir Khan. His hand speed might actually make it a little bit interesting, even and the knockout power to really trouble his chin, which is pretty bad. So that's a fight I think could be really fun. Amir won't shut up about how his hand speed is. He's quicker than Floyd, and he very may well be on that level of speed and quickness. So I would like to see that kind of fight. He's not as strong as Maidana or Canelo, so he won't be able to bully him. But if he can go tit for tat with that punching speed and land combinations at that pace, that'd be really interesting to see how Floyd can deal with not having a speed advantage. So I'd like to see that fight.
Earl?
Yeah, I'm fine with Amir Khan, honestly. There's not a whole lot that can interest me in a Floyd bout these days, honestly. It is weird, though. Like, did anybody else think the biting thing was weird? The hand bite?
That happens all the time. What are you talking about?
But, like, to render someone's hand useless for 4 rounds through your mouthpiece, through their glove, like...
While leaving no mark on the glove that the ref couldn't find?
Well, he definitely bit the glove. We saw it you see it in the replay. His mouth is just...
Okay,
and
but
the doctors, there was consistent damage, yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay, well, I just thought it was, like, the silliest thing I'd ever heard. But anyways, yeah, Khan's fine.
Josh?
Khan's as good as anybody at this point, I guess. I just don't have any interest in watching Floyd fight anymore. Every fight it's lather, rinse, repeat. It's the same fight, and paying $75 for it that co-main event was just exceptional, too. So, I mean, if that's what you're getting for your money, I'm just going to pass altogether. I don't care who they book him against because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that price tag was absurd, and it had a really below average card with the two. The Pacquiao fight just not going to happen. I can't see it happening. As far as other opponents, I think Kell Brook and Keith Thurman are both too high risk, low reward for Floyd. They might give him some trouble. Khan works, I guess, and if I had to put my money on somebody, though, I'd probably go with Cotto again. He is fighting at middleweight, but Cotto can definitely be. He's a very small heavyweight or very small middleweight, and can probably make 154 or under pretty easily. Amir seems still adamant about having the fight in the UK, which is absolutely not going to happen. But either Cotto or Khan. But yeah, all the other. Although Khan getting a Floyd fight after beating Luis Colazzo isn't the most inspiring momentum, but it's probably what we're looking at right now.
It's kind of hard to say because the conundrum I hear, Floyd's supposed to retire after September of next year. That said, I still want to. I believe that he would want to go for 50 wins. So at his pace, he'd probably have to take one more fight after that. Amir Khan is probably, assuming that the Pacquiao fight in some alternate does get done, I imagine it's going to be Floyd's last fight. Amir Khan's probably the only name credible enough to get in there and, at least people to get interested in, and you can sell the hand speed angle. Big star in the UK, which, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't be trying to get the fight there because he earned a ridiculous amount of money just fighting in Vegas. So, go ahead and take that fight. Khan seems to be the most reasonable opponent. Not much else out there.
Never really been one for reasonable. So I'm going to go a different route.
George Foreman.
When's the last time? Yes. Thurman Thomas, actually. When's the last time Floyd fought at 154?
Hello, no.
I think Canelo was 152 or one. It was 151 or 152. I think that was a catch weight.
My pick for Floyd Money Mayweather is Luke's favorite Kazakhstani national, Gennady Golovkin.
Ah!
Yeah, that's never going to
fight boring fights. Gennady Golovkin is the only compelling fight for Floyd Mayweather right now. The only guy that he could feasibly fight at a close weight class that could beat him. I want Gennady Golovkin versus Floyd Mayweather.
I would actually watch that. That would be my exception to I'm not watching any Floyd fights rules. I would watch that.
That makes my pants feel funny.
Good.
You don't, Josh. You wouldn't watch.
Yeah, considering GGD couldn't get his fight before the last one televised, I don't know that that's going to happen.
What was that, Ben? I couldn't hear you.
You wouldn't watch Pacquiao Mayweather?
Pacquiao Mayweather is never happening, so I don't even consider it.
I know. I'm saying. Okay.
For $75, no.
Dateline, Las Vegas, Nevada. Can't seem to escape the goddamn place. The first episode of the 20th season of The Ultimate Fighter was Wednesday. What were your thoughts on the show in general? Ben Cohn?
Watched the whole episode, but I did watch most of it, or at least half of it. I would say that it was nice. They're focusing a lot more on the fighters. They're not focusing at all, it seems, on the coaches so far. Thank God. And the most important thing was the fight was amazing. It was a great fight. For those who didn't watch it, sorry, spoiler, Randa beat Tisha Torres. And
what?
Yeah, I know, right? She beat her. It was an excellent fight. She was able to ground that striking, high energy, high volume striking style of Tisha Torres, and exposed a huge hole in her game. And as someone who was ranked the number 3 strawweight, that's a big deal. The fact that Randa was able to control her like that, and it was just an awesome fight. And I really can't wait for the next episode, even if just for the fight. So looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a great season.
Earl?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I was really pleased with the way they kind of introduced everyone and gave, or most everyone so far. I'm sure they'll finish out the cast in the next episode just because there's a lot of stuff. But, the way they introduced everybody was really great. The fight was good. It was the correct decision. I would just on a couple side notes, Joanne Calderwood is fucking wonderful. Like, really,
yes,
top-notch, solid. Even if Anthony Pettis doesn't even know how to say her name. But the biggest takeaway for me is that Felice Herrig is so fucking nauseating, even more nauseating than expected. Like walking in the Tough Gym and you start fucking the grappling dummy. Like, God, just piss off, you skank. Like, I hope you get struck in the first round.
Josh is not.
Josh?
War Felice. Just for you, buddy.
Please no.
I know I'm the only person here that likes Felice. I don't give
You
a
are.
fuck.
Yes, you're
I
right.
know I am. I'm well aware that I am. I don't care.
I am indifferent.
No, I like Felice, but that's neither here nor there. I actually really liked the first episode. I actually only got a chance to just watch it earlier and was very impressed with the way they did everything. I like the ranking the fighters from 1 to 16, where you're not going to have your top 2 people burning each other out in the first round when you're fighting for a UFC title. They're conducting it like a legitimate sporting tournament, and I think that's very good. I mean, everything about the production of it I felt like was a lot better than what we've seen from Tough in the past, and no one's watching. So, way to get it together after everyone has stopped caring, I guess.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, really not much to say. It was just one episode, but it was good. I like the backstories that they're doing. Also, who knows? Maybe it'll probably get worse over time. But I was very relieved that there wasn't, many if at all theatrics and batch. No, you're the batch. Just shut up. It was very low on that, which was very nice. Felice was goddamn obnoxious, which if you knew anything about her beforehand, you knew that was probably just going to be par for the course with her. Some decent heat between her and Heather Jo Clark, and the backstories were nice. It's getting
that totally could have been accidental, right? They had to put her and Heather Jo Clark in their first round one way or another.
There's no other way. They are doing a good job of getting to know the fighters. I mean, who the hell knew who Angela Hill was before this? But she seems like a good egg. She seems pretty delightful. Alex Chambers, Emily Kagan, all you're learning about these fighters here, and you really are getting some ones to root for. Especially Hill. She's only 1-0. She was ranked 16th, so that'd be cool to see her do some stuff. But I guess inoffensive would be the best term. It was fine. The fight was good, and yeah, there are really high stakes here, and they all kind of seem to notice that. The upset of Tisha Torres was massive. Some people had her. I think Taylor had her picked to win the whole thing.
He certainly did. Yeah.
I might have too, actually.
It's good. I'm not looking forward to more Felice. That I don't like where that's going, but hey, every season's got one. But yes, and if you're not pulling for Joanne Calderwood, I don't know what kind of monster you are.
Her accent is the best thing in the world.
Very, very happy hipster monster.
She is from good stock, the Scots.
Yeah, she's good people. I set my timepiece to her.
You certainly should.
Was I the only one that was terrified of Rose when she did not get picked by Team Pettis? The look on her face was one of the scariest things that I've seen. Like, she wasn't even mad. She just looked like she could just go, slit Pettis' throat in his sleep.
I'm sure Pat
Rose have some level of anger, Josh, to slit somebody's throat in their sleep.
Rose mean mugs a lot, though, so that was kind of par for the course. Also, I enjoyed Pat being the Shayna Baszler to her Ronda Rousey and getting some UFC FaceTime. Wedging his way in there. Nolan?
Oh, Pat Barry, fuck off. It was a good show. It's a shame that no one watched it, but
literally
you can only
dozens
feed some
of people watched it.
You feed people a shit sandwich so many times before they leave. I'm kind of interested to see the dramatics and the reality show aspect of it. It's going to be better than alpha male jizzing in sushi and peeing and pooing all over the house. So there's at least that. The fights themselves are going to be high quality. If this first one was any indicator, the tournament format's cool. The lack of emphasis on a coaching rivalry and no manufactured coaching rivalry is good. They were hitting all the right notes here, but it's a little too late, and it really sucks that a quality program this time around, and these top-level fighters in their weight class are going to be missed because you screwed up so many times. But, yeah.
I'm not really going to get into the whole business side of it because I don't really have a damn clue what I'm talking about. But just as far as quality goes, this probably obviously small sample size. Wow, did I even just say English words?
Stroking out.
Small sample size applies. This is the best season of Tough I've seen ever, probably. Probably the best quality of fighter ever. I feel very comfortable saying that. Better than Tough 1, better than Tough whatever the one Matt Riddle was on. Better than every other season. Unbelievable caliber of fighters. The coaches, well, they have the personality of, fruits and vegetables. But just as far as fights go, probably has the potential to be the best season of Tough ever. And as far as the fight goes, it sucks that my tournament favorite lost, but I'm very happy. I'm not a very patriotic person, but I'm very happy that Randall won. She's not terribly young, but she has a ton of potential. She got into the game late. Only person that she's lost who's in the Tough House, who, by the way, I forget who Kish is fighting. Definitely has potential to go far. Oh, I think she's Beck Rawlings is her matchup. But again, a person that has a lot of potential to go far, in my opinion, in mid-10 waves is Justin Kish. So that being the only person that you've lost to going into the house with 5 fights on your record is pretty damn good, and I was really, really glad to see her win. And as far as the rest of the season goes, this is the first time. Man, I wasn't even that excited, honestly, for the bantamweight and featherweight season. This is probably the most excited I've been for a season, for as shitty as this sounds, since the heavyweight season. This is really,
I feel the same.
Really should be an excellent season.
But will Kimbo come back this season?
I doubt that.
Yeah, I think he does.
Nor can he make the weight limit. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, Nolan. He's a male that weighs over 205 pounds. The heavyweight division.
But he may fight again.
Dangle that carrot out there.
Duke Rufus is there. Duke could fight him.
Top 10 was the worst because every show just literally...
So many cardboard doors were ripped off their hinges.
But we did get the love of flowers of Marcus Jones, which was pretty great.
Marcus Jones was the best.
I'm just saying, his love of gardening was like the highlight of that season.
Also, watching him terrify Matt Mitrione was amazing.
Marcus Jones was like Lenny from Mice and Men. He was just too beautiful for this world. Dateline Saitama, Japan. Konnichiwa, Night Owls. The UFC is coming to you live from the Orient on Saturday morning. Main card kicks off at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, which we will run through right here, right now. Left to right, give me a winner, an outcome, and maybe a couple sentences if you feel like it. A couple, Ben. In the flyweight division, Kyoji Horiguchi takes on Jean De Los Reyes.
I have Horiguchi, probably by decision. I think he was grabbed good enough. That's all.
Same.
Horiguchi might be the hardest hitter under 145 pounds. Him and Dodson are the only two guys that are in that same level. Horiguchi by violent knockout.
Yeah. This isn't going to go well for Reyes. I think Horiguchi is a bit of a slow starter, however. So I'm going to give him the second round vicious head against the fence knockout.
Horiguchi's too fast, and it just has a little bit of everything to offer, and it's going to show how much better he is here. I'll take him by second round knockout as well.
Oh, that's me. Boy, am I excited for this night of fights. Or morning. It's a morning card. Horiguchi's going to hurt him. I'm going to take him by winning by knockout.
In the welterweight division, Kiichi Kunamoto takes on Richard Walsh.
Kiichi Kunamoto, sub round 2, maybe early round 3.
Man, damn it. Yeah, I have Kunimoto sub round 3 as well.
Kunimoto sub 2.
Kunamoto's a scrappy guy, journeyman. I'm taking him by submission. I don't trust any fighter who has one fight and it was on the tough finale after being in the tough house.
Tough Australia, to be fair.
Yes.
Which is even worse than regular tough.
That's possible.
Very, very possible.
I legitimately have no clue who these guys are. Since everybody seems to be going with Kunamoto, I'll go with him by submission.
You're a hair dryer.
Who just walked out to the ocean?
I also have zero idea who these people are.
Anyway, try to get this magical train back on the station.
Richard Walsh has an indie you can sit and watch too. He'll take a solid majority.
Whose living room has a steamship in it?
Okay, if you can't mute yourself, I'm muting everyone until I figure out where the problem is.
Who lives on a fucking freeway?
We
What
have
are you doing?
All right.
And it was Earl.
The apex of professional yet again for us. The women's bantamweight division features Miesha Tate against Rin Nakai.
Tate's gonna take a decision because Rin Nakai doesn't have every single official in the promotion doing everything in their power to make her win. She's strong as shit, but Tate's too good.
Rin Nakai because fuck Miesha Tate.
Oh! Wow!
Wow!
It's impossible for Rin Nakai to lose a decision in Japan, so she's gonna get outstruck like 6-1 and win a 30-27 or 29-28 decision.
I'm really hoping that, unlike in all of her previous fights, all three judges, the ref, the timekeeper, the commission official, and all the security guards do not have posters of her in the bathtub on their wall. Without having everything catered to her like she does in all of her other fights, I think Miesha is going to run through her and submit her like the Teddy Ruxpin she is. Tate by submission round 1.
I actually love Rin Nakai, but
Of course you do.
Nailed it.
yeah. All right. Miesha Tate isn't what she used to be, really, but it's Rin Nakai, so Miesha by submission round 1.
I feel like if Japan had their own Michelin, I feel like Rin Nakai would be their mascot. We should take
She's very pillowy.
She looks so plush.
Plush.
I'm pretty sure Bob Sapp probably already is their Michelin man.
She looks like a wrestling buddy pillow.
I want to knock down 3 bottles at the fair and win her. That's fair. In the welterweight division, Amir Sadala takes on Yoshihiro Akiyama.
Akiyama's gonna throw him all over the place. I don't think Sadala's never been submitted, and he's got good sub everything. So I don't know if Akiyama will get a submission, but he's definitely gonna win by submission. If he gets a submission, it'll be late in the fight.
Josh?
I'm going to do it anyway. Amir, decision, because
Oh
my homeboy from Richmond, Virginia. We grew up 10 minutes apart. I'm taking the homer pick, and I'm actually going to say he wins it by keeping him at range with using his Muay Thai game in and out to close the distance and then get out.
Earl?
Yeah, Amir Sadala is gonna win. That's stupid.
I think Akiyama takes a decision. He uses his base and his striking to keep Sadala at range and from uglying it up, and takes a pretty comfortable decision.
I'm actually taking Sadala myself. Akiyama is pretty terrible. Mir Sadala's striking is serviceable, and it's not winging punches. And we how soon we forget that Akiyama tapped to a Chris Lieben not even locked in triangle. It was over his foot. I just don't see Akiyama winning. I'm going Sadala decision myself.
He was doing Lieben a solid. He's a good dude.
Guys, remember that part where I was talking about how I hated the UFC? This is why. I don't like this. I've been thinking this entire time, and I still don't know who to take. Yoshihiro Akiyama by fucking heel hook.
Dude, you know what's fucked up is that Amir Sadala has fought the most recently, and it has been 2 years.
Has Akiyama fought since he fought Carmon?
It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years for both of them.
Y'all know if Akiyama wins this, he's gonna be, or if he loses this, he's next in line for a welterweight title shot, right?
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you fuck Joe Silva's wife.
Whoa!
Wow!
That's a hard JW.
Amir lost to Dan Hardy in September 2012, and Akiyama was last seen losing to kickboxing Jake Shields in February of 2012.
Oh, is that the one where Akiyama had all those trip?
If Jake Shields was kickboxing,
Josh, that was this.
if Jake Shields beat him standing, anybody's got a shot.
Okay.
In the co-main event of the evening, in the lightweight division, Miles the Fury Jury takes on the Fireball Kid, Takanori Gomi.
Gomi's going to lose, and it's not going to be pretty. Miles Jury's going to completely dominate him for a decision win.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough draw for Gomi here in the old home country. Jury is pretty much the most unheralded 5-0 fighter in the UFC that I can think of, and he's just too well-rounded, and he's going to clown him.
Don't really understand all the love for Takanori Gomi. I think Jury takes him to school, takes a decision easily.
Because pride, bro.
Yep, there has
You
to
were in diapers when Gomi was tearing people up, kid.
And you were in diapers until you were 12.
Which is about when Gomi was really tearing people up. I mean,
That's about right.
I'm still working on it.
These steps.
I really think Takanori Gomi still Miles Jury by decision.
In the main event of the evening in the heavyweight division, Maku Hunto takes on Roy Big Country Nelson.
I'm going to pick Hunt because he's just more technical, and I don't think he'll knock out Nelson. I mean, we've seen Nelson take enormous amounts of punishment without going down, and Hunt couldn't knock out Bigfoot, so I'll pick him by decision. I'm not too comfortable with it because I feel like Nelson will land the bomb a lot.
You know this is 5 rounds, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, nice.
And Hunt just went 5 rounds. Remember?
What?
Hunt went 5 rounds with Bigfoot, remember? He can
What?
go 5 rounds.
What?
So, I got Hunt by decision. Tentatively.
I'm going to take Mark Hunt by brick-fisted KO round 1.
I'm going to go Hunt by 4th round KO.
Going Hunt second round KO, Roy has shown that he has absolutely no intention of ever taking a fight to the ground for the duration of his career, so he's going to try to be fucking super country, and that will end poorly.
Mark Hunt first round knockout. Minus 150 on the betting lines if you want to make it some easy cash.
Nolan's betting advice is certainly the betting advice I take. Remember that time Stipe Miocic almost murdered Roy Nelson? This is going to be like that, only Mark Hunt can punch through cows. Kobe beef. Nice.
Waka waka. And on that note, that will do it for us today. We will see you in 6 days, 23 hours. The Undercard Supercast tapes live every Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. Visit us, undercardsuperstar.com. Tweet us at undercardsuper. Thank you for watching. And War Misha Tate.
You know what?